Ну, все
It should be for quite a long time. It just, are they going to be able to get to that high ground with that? Probably with the Aegis cheese on TNC, can they actually breach? Because as I see Aster setting up right now, they're just going to lanes, spamming their spells, push it as fast as possible, go to jungle, keep this Void farming, get him that big item, get him that big DKB.
What is this?
Is that what I think it is?
It's an ether lens magnet. I'm not sure about that one. I guess, hey, you don't have to be as close to your friends when you want to empower them. And the shockwave range is pretty nice. Skewer, okay, yeah, it's a lot of range.
Works well with the Yule Scepter, I guess.
I mean, it's definitely sort of the big play build. You know, we're looking to Armel now to, yeah, I guess sort of yours, and the Blink sort of getting in from a further distance back. I like to see it. I mean, he's going out all on the spell casting on this Magnus. And as we said, you know, in this game, in the team fights, he really does have to set up some phenomenal plays. So they that extra bit of range on that initiation, why not? I'm down. I want to see what he can do with it. It is a lot of gold.
Committed, but if it makes him be able to blink out of fog, if he gets a huge lead, then it's within. Right away.
Here we go.
He gets a catch.
Gets a big old catch onto Baboka. I'm excited to see what Armel can play. He knows he's got to make the plays. He's got the build to do it. Absolutely. Damage, it doesn't matter because you have this Terrorblade. You know that at all stages of the games, Gabby's going to be doing ridiculous amounts of right click with the buffs and the fact that, hey, he's a Terrorblade. So it's just all about landing your spells. And Armel with the Ether Lens Magnus, he's certainly looking to do that.
I wonder what his next item is. Is he just going to go like a Hex or something? Or did he just
I really hope it's not Aghanim. But with the Ether Lens, you never know.
Never know.
You never know.
I just
wish
wish
it go for the Axe build on the Magnus.
I wish it one-shotted waves without having a Kaya. That's the one thing. I played it the other day, and I was like, oh, and I'm going to try it. I went it. You just don't kill creep waves unless you have Kaya, even with the shockwave damage. The melee creeps stay alive.
He's going to go back for some more orthodox time. He's going to get the Shadow Blade.
I went it.
Chrono's ended because the BKB was up there. They just did not have the damage to throw it onto Gabby. Sylar, BKBing, trying to retreat, will get out of there. As there'll be a buyback from Armel, wanting to keep the fight going hot for TNC. As a buyback also out from XXS. Both teams buying back their one loss that they had in that fight. Gabby's still got the Metamorphosis, so TNC can be very confident going back into the pit.
Actually has no ultis.
They don't. Can they do anything to contest this? Lover's trying to step forward. There's the jump. Armel goes to the skill. Will get your stuff, but Fenrir just gets pummeled down by Gabby. Still with some time left on his Metamorphosis, but Boca as well. Just too much damage coming out for this Terrorblade. You also try to control it. Oh, XXS Does manage to burst down the TB, can turn towards Cuckoo as well with the bash. They'll get themselves another. The time dilation causing issues here for Tims and Ninja Boogie as they continue to chase down the sleep, setting up onto Ninja Boogie. A buyback coming out from Baboka and Fenrir to add to this effort, and it pays off. They push TNC away from the pit, and now Asta can get in themselves and look to take down the Roshan for their own side.
XXS just coming so clutch there, just finding the Terrorblade on top. He double edges an illusion, but it does splash onto the Terrorblade, and it's enough to bring them down. And how many buybacks was that total?
There's 3 buybacks, I believe, from Asta. Fenrir, Baboka, and XXS earlier in the fight. And for TNC, I believe just the buyback from Armel.
Armel, yep. And they were so close to that Aghanims on the Weaver, too.
Oh, I bet. Well, what was he?
He was pretty much had
get it. But yeah, as you say, it's
if he had it in that last fight, he could have actually probably saved the Terrorblade before he gets brought down there.
Yeah, he absolutely would have.
Yeah, Aster. They're overwhelming match team fight. They blow everything initially, but they're able to reset that. I mean, the Centaur buyback, massively clutch.
Oh yeah.
Now they've got Aegis Cheese.
But yeah, you've got the buffs, bro. So
yeah, this is super worth it. Yeah. Now it's almost a heart finished up on the Centaur too, and we were already talking about TNC. They can have some damage issues. It's only going to be coming from that Terrorblade, and they're looking like they want to fight. They've got this Aghanims finish now on the Weaver, but they're just so relying on Gabby to be in the right place.
See they're coming around. See if they can get the job. See if Gabby can sort of bait play in. Ninja Boogie leading forward. There's the jump forward from Exec. If that Fire Blast comes out, jump forward to the side. Psylocke gets the Chrono onto the 2 of them. Doesn't have a lot of damage by himself. They do have the Supernova and the Fiend's Grid coming out, as well as the Laguna. They throw everything onto Armel. Gets them the kill, but they lose the egg. The focus there from Gabby with the BKB and the Metamorphosis allows him to take down Baboka. The controls there onto XXS as he's getting slowed down by the Ignite. XXS will fall as Asta have lost 2. Tyler having to back off as the rest of TNC will successfully push back Asta. And that was Asta's fight coming in. They do protect the Aegis. Did they use the cheese in that fight?
No, XXS didn't use it. He was Spirit Vessel and just being chased, so he's like, there's no point in him using it with heal him at all.
They do still at least have those two, but a successful fight nonetheless for TNC there.
Yeah, sometimes getting initiated on yourself can be decent when it's an Ogre and a Magnus inside of that Chrono. These 2 pretty tanky heroes for this Void. They didn't have the Lina to throw in all the damage. XXS also got a bit isolated as well, so team fight gets split up, and it's okay for TNC this time.
Force on Ogre now, so that it's sort of way to get in and to sort of set up for the team.
So close. Oh, Fenrir.
Gabby just still is big.
Yeah, he's getting close to critical mass.
As ever, it's interesting what Silo goes now. Obviously, whether the Battle Fury into BKB, he's got 3,500 gold.
Probably the MKB, I'd imagine.
I think so.
And he's going for his own butterfly. Okay. I thought he'd go for the MKB just when he saw the Talisman of Evasion.
I mean, I guess maybe he feels that
he switched it. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way he's not going to go MKB here.
They have to kill this Terrorblade somehow. And they be fair with the burst, if they're in the combos with the sort of the Phoenix play. As long as they chrono him before he gets the BKB out, they can sort of do it at the moment. You know, they can kill Gabby.
As long as they
everything has
control the Weaver as well. Like the Weaver.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't have to worry about the Aghanims before.
Yeah,
but they are going to now.
Weaver's got Aghanims. He's queued up the Blink Dagger so he can position himself around the Chronosphere so he can make sure to protect him.
Yeah.
So who's got the control? Who's going to be the one that actually get that Weaver die? I guess it must be the Lina, but
it's just sending him up in the air with the Yules. Yeah. That's sort of your best bet in terms of getting that instant sort of time where you don't have to worry about the Terrorblade being saved. Yeah, that's the big one. XXS nearly got the money for the heart. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't pick up the Aghanims after the heart. I think it's so good this game.
Yeah,
against the RP and against the meta, because as we've seen so far, TNC have been doing a very good job at sort of picking the team fights and making sure that they don't get overrun by Asta's lineup that has, sort of said from the draft, a really nice team fight on paper. It's Gabby ready to push in, and Asta's the side with the Aegis and Cheese, but TNC, they're getting more done at this point because this Terrorblade is just so damn big.
52 armor. 52 armor, and he's hitting for 550. This is so crazy. I mean, it's just the Terrorblade in their team. Buffs. It's everything on this Terrorblade. All the pressure in the world on Gabby. to be that damage dealer. I mean, teammates just have to make him look great.
I think that's the way to play Dota when you've got a Terrorblade on your team. You know, you realize that this is the strongest hero, arguably, you know, one of the strongest carries, if not the strongest carry in the game at the moment. You can make it even stronger, and then the game sort of, you know, can play itself to a T if you do allow the space for your Terrorblade to get the farm on the map, and they certainly did. They did a great job of securing the area for Gabby to farm.
He's getting, I mean, like we were saying, he's getting close to critical mass, so once he starts getting that, like, I mean, his last item, pretty much, like that 6th, maybe the Hurricane Pike, or if he replaces that with something else, that's going to be their big go time, because they don't want to keep stalling this out. The Void is far from being maxed out. He can still replace two of his small items quite easily.
I like this as well from Lover. He's going for E-Blade.
Yep.
So just heavy on the magical burst.
A little weird when he has an Aghanim.
That is true. That is sort of the one sort of...
He can save a target though, right? And he can also just mess with people hitting the Ag if he finds the TB after BKB. They commit forward for Tim's. You can see their position in the angle. There's smoke. RP.
He gets it out from two of them. BKB was already out, but the damage from Gabby is just coming through. But still there's the time for Silo to find the time warp. They turn, they have the control. The Supernova's still going to go on, but successfully stun up. The Terrorblade, the time lapse with the Aghanims allows Gabby the second life though. There's a skewer on Mel, picking up the two of them. Silo is able to time them walk back out, but XXS is dead. The Light Strike comes out onto the three of them. Silo still trying his best to punch back. He's getting the bunches onto Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie taking down the Spirit Vessel. Jump from Armel, continuing to chase Silo. He's got the timing disable with the Yule Scepter, but Sylar still gets the chance to go for the time walk down to the low ground.
Oh, he's alive!
Sylar will survive for now as they get themselves away. Both teams just losing two heroes. It is two supports down on TNC as a support and offlaner for Asta. XXS does fall.
I just love looking at the damage spread throughout the fights. It's like the Void's doing quite a lot, but Phoenix is doing a ton of damage too, so is Lina. But then you look at TNC side, it's only the Terrorblade doing damage in these fights. It's like 1,000 or something up from the Weaver. So, I mean, 8,000 from TB.
As we've seen, you know, with this Aghanim's time-lapse, it's pretty much impossible for them to kill the Terrorblade twice. They have to get on top of the Weaver. At this point of the game, Sylar, it's much sort of more sort of team fight winning if you can get that Weaver +1 in the promo. You have to get rid of the Weaver.
I think it might be a play where you look to kill everybody but the Terrorblade and then kind of dance around him. It could start getting to that point.
It's not going to be easy. You're going to lose people. You know, Gabby still hits very hard without sort of the help of his teammates. Absolutely. But it gives you that chance to get out on top. And
I like that he's going to be going for damage now though on the TB. It's a little weird because he's like it's scary, but I think if he can kill people inside that, like, and if he had a bigger damage item there and that RP, he would have absolutely killed Sylar.
Absolutely, yeah, Sylar would have been.
So I do like the option of if he does continue to go for that.
I mean, does this sort of surprise? XXS, he's not building the Aghanims game. Am I just crazy and it's not actually it's good to build?
He just doesn't want it this game.
Not sure. The Lotus is nice
the RP, but
against the Sunders. But then again, as we've seen, you know, the Terrorblade hasn't really had to use Sunder most of the time because Cuckoo's there to keep him high on health.
I think he wants to play the fact that he's not like relying. It's like, oh, we're getting RP'd, I need an Aghanim. He gets RP'd in mid, but I think he wants to be his own strong force rather than being like, oh, you know, we're relying on this defensive maneuver. It's like we're pretty much playing that we're getting jumped on instead of us getting the jump. I think that might be his thought process. But yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll see. As Sylar is continuing to rack up the gold on top of the MKB. But again, they're losing these big off. Centaur's gone, no buyback for 50 seconds. Out the NC ready to push in a bit. Gabby did use BKB for that kill on mid, so 40 seconds without the magic immunity.
Red is running down pretty low too. They're trying to get as much as possible out of the Centaur. That Ward gets taken out right away. You can see they came prepared. Sentries, got the EM talents.
Well, just try and get a hook there with the skewer, but he gets Yule's up, and there's the time lapse. Yeah, it's got the reset, it's got the invis, the chrono will reveal it. Sylar jumps forward with the ultimate, catches the Terrorblade as well, but no real way to get on top of Gabby. The chrono used, it gets themselves a Magnus. TNC could still feel confident in pushing. They've got the BKB up in 10, nice Mantis style dodge off the Light Strike array from Gabby, but it looks like they'll play it reserved and do back away without their Magnus. They're going to continue to push. This should give the timing for Sylar to hit 25 on the Void, very close to doing so. I would imagine he does go for the backtrack this game.
The Chronosphere AoE could be kind of nice
against
versus
the Weaver. You are right, yeah. The thing is that threat at the Weaver.
It's a Weaver with a blink, so in theory, like, he should be in the backlines and he should be able to get it off anyway. We'll see which one. I mean, this could one of those games where you could argue for that Chronosphere just because of that. If it's a heart on.
I like
All
that.
right.
I like that because now you're really not killing this guy. He already has the damage, you know, and this is just a build that says, you know, come on, try and kill. You know, give me your best efforts. It's not going to happen. There's an E blade out in the leader, but even with that sort of burst, this TV's walking around with 4.1k HP.
He got slept up outside. He's going to wake himself up, but this is a rush that Aster, they're looking to secure. Egg on the outside.
Get you live for it, but indeed he's sent up into the air. Radiant will pick up the Roshan. XXS gets the Aegis. He did indeed grab the cheese from there. They had a good amount of time to make sure they picked stuff up away from Gabby, but they didn't do it. He was able to get his hands on one. Just get pushed to the side. There's the time lapse. It's back up to full. Gabby there with the help of the Weaver. XXS going with the Stampede. The Fuse Grip comes out upon them. Light Strikes will raid down as well. But the RP, it gets 3 of them. Perfect connection there from Armel. Allows them to beat down onto Sylar. Sylar does time walk to the side. Cuckoo's there with the chase, looking for both of them. As TNC wants to keep the fight going. Spirit Vessel starting to tick down number. He's by the shrine. He's got to wait for the Spirit Vessel to wear off. XXS going back in with the 2 from onto 2. Sleep as well onto Armel, holding back TNC. But TNC will continue to chase. Getting to slow onto XXS. Aster, they do have Sylar watching from the high ground. He has got a Chrono. It could be a big one, and it is. It gets the 3 of them. The stun as well, holding Armel back for a little bit, but they'll focus towards the Chrono target. There's the time lapse again. Aghanim Sylar trying to save this man, but it's not enough. The chain stuns come out from Aster. Skewer from Armel at least picks up the Lina in return. And Sylar, he's not done yet. Time walks across. Time dilation onto Armel, slowing down the Magnus. Another jump forward. Aster claim Armel's life as well.
Tyler did get the important thing inside that last rush too. He did get the refresh shot, and he saved it there. I actually was scared for a second because I thought he was going to refresh his shot, and the Mask of Madness silence was still going to be on him. But they had enough control to actually bring down this Terror Blade anyway. And now a full butterfly. This Battle Fury paid off. And
he did go for the backtrack. So that on top of the butterfly, he's hard to beat down. You know, he may not sort of have the HP and the armor that the TV does, but he has a hell of a lot of evasion. And obviously at the moment, TNT, they don't have ways to fight through it. No one with any sort of true strike. Yep. Pushing in Aster.
TNC really has to be careful when they group up and walk into high grounds. It's kind of like similar on both sides. There's so much team fight on Aster, and TNC, they have a Magnus, so Aster's been doing a good job of keeping themselves split out. XXS commits forward here.
Oh, he's got the safety of the Stampede. Feeling confident to do so, and sort of baiting out the buyback from Armel. That's certainly as good as anything to do. Armel will try for the catch, maybe. Bloodlusted. Turn his attention elsewhere. DP on the bot.
Big thing they're looking at here. And Cuckoo who actually bottles it up.
Gonna do a crazy amount for him.
Definitely not.
Of course, no right click on this Weaver.
So we gotta watch. We gotta watch Sylar. You know, he's got double chrono. He has gotten rid of the Mask of Madness. I like that choice too. You know, he disassembled it for his butterfly. I think that's a great choice, so he doesn't silence himself, so he doesn't mess up if he can try to set up for a double Chronosphere positioning.
I wonder what he does get sort of as his next item. As there's so many options to avoid this game. You want to somehow get more attack speed, or maybe go for that sort of active item, nullify or something late game.
He's got huge. Like you said, he's got a lot of options. I think that it's because like this Battle Fury build, like it actually paid off. They
now that the game is at 41 minutes in.
Yeah, that's what they prepared for.
It's the way that they wanted to play. Hey, you know, maybe Sylar could have gone for a more active early game build, and they could have maybe won the game earlier, or sort of got on top, made the team fights happen a bit of a higher frequency. You know, they decided to take it to this later, more volatile portion of the game because, you know, Sylar and the boys on Aster, probably what they feel more comfortable with. They feel much sort of more in their element playing out a game to the later portions.
I mean, they drafted it that way too, right? Yeah. They're like, they saw Terror Blade first too, they picked Void first too. Yeah. So they know, let's take it late.
This is how they want to play it.
Yeah, and that's the way that they played in the earlier stages of this tournament too. They played a 76-minute game versus EG. They played a 50-minute game before that. They probably watched, or they probably took a glance at the TNC games, and they're like, all right, TNC likes to play late too. 50-minute games, let's bring it to them. And right now, they've claimed themselves a 4K gold lead. They've got some nice control on the map too, and they're giving this a refresher charge. So the next upcoming team fight is going to be very tough for TNC to take unless they have some incredible vision advantage.
It's not going to be easy. Still.
No.
As I imagine, you know, sort of in these fights as well, Sylar, do you think he's looking to sort of get the 2 chronos off on
So, yeah.
I mean, the double bubble, though, could be good against the time-lapse Weaver in the sense that, you know, if the target gets lapsed out of the chrono, one of them can get the instant jump straight away, so sort of that chance isn't there for Gabby as such to maybe fight back whilst the other chrono's in use. As long as he sort of got over heroes in the first one.
It really depends on the positioning of how the fight starts, right? Like how you really want to save those. They have a lot of options for Aster. Like we were mentioning, on TNC, for them starting the fight, it's like Undying kind of has to charge in, they throw some bugs out, he throws a tombstone, and then it's a lot of pressure on Armel to really land those RPs. You look at Aster, they've got like 5 heroes, or 4 heroes that can start the fight. They've got a Phoenix, they've got a Void, they've got a Centaur, they've got so many ways to give Sylar the setup to be able to get that good Chronosphere. They have been getting. So Sylar, it looks like he's still deciding what item as well, because he's banking gold, and he's kind of like standing around a bit too. So they're probably trying to debate which next item is the best choice on the Void here. Because there's no like clear-cut answer just yet versus
No, as I said, there's a lot of options.
Does he want control? Does he go for an Ags? Does he want to get his own refresher? Does he want to get damage?
I mean, that's the thing. If once told us the Battle Fury, maybe, hey, there's a temptation to get something like the Daedalus, you know, sort of those hard hitters late game. Could be huge. Sylar.
I think he's extra damage item. He's going to save for buyback, because I think the most important thing to do for the next situation in this game where it's dragging out, you get ready for the next Roche fight, which is save buybacks. So we're going to look at most of Aster's heroes. You see the Lina saving buyback, Void saving buyback, and Centaur. So the 3 big cores are trying to get that buyback prepared for that next Roche engagement. And it's probably similar on the side of TNC. We see Cuckoo, he's got an Ethereal Blade queued up, but you'd have to imagine these 3 cores, the 3 cores on each side, they're probably going to be saving buyback for that big fight.
Okay, and excited to see this as well from Lover. You know, the refresh ability.
Yes, the double
blast. I mean, that, you know, that's certainly a way to kill the TB.
Good way to kill the Weaver.
Even that on that point, you won't have quite enough damage to burst down Gabby on your own. With 4k HP, with a couple of Lagunas, it's 2,000. It's not going to kill him. But he can certainly going to be a lot.
He can kill the Weaver.
You can kill anyone else. You can absolutely kill anybody else. I'm pretty sure everyone else will certainly die to a double combo from the Lina.
Yeah. So it was I have Scotty picked up for Sylar, so he wants to tank up.
Sort of you know, the mixed. Offers a bit of everything.
Yep. Gives you mana, so he can make sure to get his spells off a bunch of times. Gives him probability, and gives him chase with the BKB.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good bit of everything ready to go as the push from bottom lane comes in. Gabby straight away forcing out that fortification from Aster.
Immediately gets enfeebled. Even though it's a max level enfeeble, it looks pretty intense.
I'll be getting him outside the base. Sylar is going to jump in, but BKB was out in time from Gabby, so Gabby is not going to take too much damage at all during this chrono. There's the RP on the 2 of them. Refresher shard has been popped by Sylar. We'll see if he finds a good opportunity to pop the second chrono. He's bashing down Gabby, but Gabby gets time. There's the chrono. The Intrigable as well being used. They want this Terrorblade dead, and they'll get it. They kill off the TB. They'll get the lockdown onto Ninja Boogie on the side as well, as Ninja Boogie getting beat back away from the Ancient, away from the Brax. But they get themselves a second. TNC can still push on. Brought back on Gabby. Straight back in. This was an aggressive buy to keep trying to push with. Feeling confident with the fact that there is no Chronosphere and no Supernova. At the same time, has to be careful. Gabby trying to fight. Up here by Aster, they jump forward, they've got the burst, they're bringing him down pretty low, jump forward, Mono get the skewer, time lapse will get him back up to full. Gabby, is Gabby trying to get on top of his targets, but Lover with the Shadow Blade able to get himself all the way away. They do get Cuckoo, and that is a bit of an awkward attempt there from TNC to keep the push going. They brought back on the Terrorblade, wanting to continue the pressure, but they punish it on Aster, so they don't kill the Terrorblade, but they kill everyone else pretty much, and now they're ready to push back themselves.
That started to feel like a bit of a desperate move there by TNC. They're just like, uh-oh, it's getting to the late stage of the game, and we only have a Terrorblade versus this like core heroes that just really continue to scale, and just so much overwhelming team fighting control.
Roshan's up again.
Yep.
As Aster, they'll head into the pit.
Just continue to saving that refresher shard right from Sylar. Just massive plays coming in.
He's really pulling it up on the Void this game. Sylar, 88, 6, 1 and 15.
And now you're probably all happy because you see a Battle Fury winning, so we're going to see more Owen Battle Fury Void.
So, I mean, the Battle Fury Void is winning. I doubted it. You know, I've been infected sort of with the, you know, the analysis of all you guys, you know, the years and flaming the Battlefield. But Sylar, he's showing us that it can still work.
He did it perfect, right? He didn't overlap his chronos whatsoever. The Sunder came off.
He didn't feed. You know, a lot of the times you see Voids, they get the Battle Fury and then they struggle in the fight. So Sylar did a great job of balancing out what he could sort of contribute and not sort of overexerting himself in team fights whilst he was sort of at the stage with just the battlefield.
It looked like also inside that fight, I think they overlapped the time lapse plus the Sunder, right? It looked like both of them happened at the same time.
But I think there was definitely panic there from TNC. And it cost them. It's allowed Aster to now stand 14k advantage. So that bottom racks may have been touched upon as they took the tier 3. The racks themselves still stand.
He actually has the refresher shard in his backpack, so we see that cooldown is taking a very long time.
No, he probably wants to take that out. I mean, I guess they know that if he does find a good chrono at the moment without a second, they can still very much take a good fight.
Yeah.
But as you say, that cooldown is going to be a whole lot longer than his backpack.
I gotta say, this Aether Lens on Armel is.
You're not liking it?
I don't feel like the pressure from it is having that much of an effect. Sure, I saw him do some nice skewers to push away from tombstones and stuff like that, but he's got so much gold committed on these small items, and it really is just all on Gabby. And
it is your mid laner, yeah, as you say. This is your second highest priority this game, farm, and
he's
playing for those RPs, which is sort of one of the reasons why Magnus sort of fell out of favor. It's so much pressure on you to land this big ultimate, and he does get the Lina here. Get the one of them. Sylar is ready to fight back though. There's going to be a buyback. You know that they can certainly continue this ball against TNC if TNC want to continue to chase this. They won't do so.
That's the only control that TNC has. The RP's down. Ogre's dead for 90 seconds. Aster, they've got a lot of moves they can make on the map right now to keep this pressure on.
And another way of sort of helping keep the team alive. XXS, he's got his 25, takes the return off.
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually going to say the hoof stop is so nice. Like even more control coming in. But okay. I mean, it works great on yourself. The return on is, like I think Kyle was saying it earlier too. It's like in theory you look at it, and it's like it's really damn nice, but it works based off your team strength. So double refreshers coming in. So now Armel, he actually hides the refresher as well. He uses it, so he's got RP ready. This could catch Aster off guard here.
That's the jump. He gets the one, but it is a big one. Damage coming out from Gabby, and it's not going to be picked up.
The bait sleep.
Sylar being saved there by Fenrir, allowed to time walk out. The egg does fall, as TNC will continue to fight despite the very nice save there for the Void. As they take the egg down, take the Aegis as well, looking for a second attempt onto killing XXS. He's pretty damn beefy, does still have a cheese and a stampede available. Armel screwing him back deep. There's the stampede coming out. Yours and Light Strike coming down upon him, trying to protect him. There's the Chrono Sylar. He only gets the one, and he realized this is not the Chrono to fight around. Jumps back up to the high ground, but Cuckoo's on the chase. He's on top of Sylar. Sylar's in trouble, and he'll fall. Cuckoo on the support Weaver getting in and getting the big kills. As Sylar goes down, Fenrir will be allowed to TP out. But this time, it's Aster that sort of
thing from Gabby. He used the refresher and then hid it away. So they didn't know that those double ultis are, I mean,
He's going to jump back in, goes for the RP onto Sylar, but the rest of the team have bailed on him. Armel gets Laguna bladed, and that is 2 dead without buyback on TNC. Has to know that they can look to punish for more. There's no backup coming in this time round for TNC. Kneeblade, the lockdown, controlling Ninja Boogie, sets up for a 3rd kill for Asta. As a back and forth game, as both teams just trying to push it a little too much. We saw TNC, he's going to jump back in, goes to the RP, onto Sylar, but the rest of the team have bailed on him. Armel gets Laguna bladed, and that is 2 dead without buyback on TNC. Has to know that they can look to punish for more. There's no backup coming in this time round for TNC. Kneeblade, the lockdown, controlling Ninja Boogie, sets up for a 3rd kill for Asta. As a back and forth game, as both teams just trying to push it a little too much. We saw TNC, he's going to jump. Yeah, his team's already pushing into the base.
He's indecisive. He's kind of going back.
I mean, Sylar's going to take some time to get it.
He still has Chrono as well as the refresh.
He's got the double, yeah, the double. Get themselves the tier 3 tower. Gun forward, Sylar. Doesn't commit the Chrono though. Doesn't feel confident in grabbing the spear and having the follower damage. Go for the kill as of yet. It's being voided for TNC. They do have Ogre backup, but still 50 seconds without Armel's Magnus. Kuala heads forward once again, but seeing Gabby does offer an incredible amount of damage. Style Blast comes out, Sylar find the time, or the BKB's out from Gabby's. He did get jumped by XXS, but a quick BKB reaction keeps him safe. Now they know there's no BKB though, Asta. They can go for the Chrono. Do they have the damage? Supernova's coming down. He has been given a kick. There's the refresher shot being popped. Sylar's going to have a second one. Don't know the timeline save comes through. He's back up to full Gabby, but there's the second Laguna Blade. Another timeline's coming out. Can they keep Gabby alive? He's the stage is surviving with the Sunder. Gabby back up to full. They're holding the defense, TNC, but the bashes, the control, XXS is on top of him, but they've already lost the leader. Gabby is still alive. The bashes, the magical damage, it's enough. Gabby will fall. XXS with the 3-man J.Storm, and Asta invading the base of TNC will take down the Ogre and the Weaver for a good duration. Triple kill for Sylar. Armel does have the catch though, as the Sylar Void may have picked up a triple kill, but he'll lose his life for it.
Oh my.
As again, this game continues to back and forth, incredibly close between these two teams, despite, as you can see at the top, the 13k lead for Asta. We're still seeing TNC being able to hold on. And the base on their half of the map, all racks still remaining alive. Back over on Asta's side, they're taking a bit of a beating from the creeps, as we saw that bottom lane getting exposed and opened earlier by TNC.
The refresher on the Weaver, that actually caught me off guard too for a second. I was like, wait, what the hell?
They kept Gabby alive for as long as they did.
He had 3 lives. You got double time lapse, and you got a full HP Sunder swap off coming out to play. He was Beam's grip too from the back. Fenrir had great positioning as his Bane, and it's not just the Bane anymore. It's a level 25 Bane with a 12-second Beam's grip, which could really turn the tides there. But great positioning and good itemization by TNC gives them some more time in this game.
It does. The build, as we saw there on Gabby, just perfect, having that heart. Without that, he would have died in numerous situations.
It's very true. I wanted him to go damage, but I was totally wrong. His heart has saved him multiple times.
I'm still looking for XXS to get an Aghanims there.
I wanted him to get the hook stomp. The hook stomp duration.
I mean,
he landed so many 3-man stuns.
He has landed some fantastic hook stomps. That extra second and a half could have made the difference in sort of killing the Terrorblade. That extra bit of disable. But we'll see which way XXS does choose to go.
How's our buybacks looking? So we've got, it's just the Terrorblade for 6 minutes and the Undying for 4. Besides that, Linus is back up very soon.
Oh. Creep setup here. Asta. They can look to fight this, but the Yules is going to be there on XXS, cancelling any chance for him to get the J.Storm follow-up. Boogie's able to walk away.
Level 25 Undying too, so he's got the Reincarnate. So there's potential for 3 Tombstones.
And he's nearly got that beautiful item that I'm surprised we don't see a little more often on the Undying.
Yeah, especially when he went the Reincarnate.
Except,
imagine he went the -2 second decay cooldown on top.
True, he didn't go for the talent with it, but I don't think I mean, I must have said something, but we rarely see an Aghanims on the Undying. But sort of in theory, it seems so strong. Is there a reason why? Is it just sort of when we see Undyings, you don't normally get to this point of a game? Or
exactly.
This is just one of the more farmed Undyings, even though it's the second lowest on the network. It's just not a common portion where you see an Undying with the invoke by the Titans. Or Sylar. He's in. Two-man Chrono successfully dropped down with the Laguna Blade. They burst down Armel. Armel buys back immediately. Treatment Silent. They do get back. Supernova goes off onto two of them, but TNC will still be happy to fight if Armel can find a Chrono opportunity. Sorry, an RP opportunity. Chrono's still down, of course, for a very long time now. No refreshing shot or anything of the sort. 100 seconds without it. Tyler is by the pit. XXS will start the the attempt to get a fight going. Tims forces down to the low ground. Tyler can still punch like a madman, but no Chrono.
Tombstone's down inside the pit.
To the pit. Gabby's making sure work of the Roche as well. They do have Supernova available. Dive in. Won't quite yet look to commit it. Now they'll go for it from the high ground. Sylar jumps forward. He's trying to get into the rope, trying to steal this away. Will he be able to do it? No, Gabby grabs the Aegis. They did manage to get the refresher shard, Sylar, though, so Sylar can get off another Chrono if he wishes to do so. Lightstrike Laguna comes down onto Gabby. Can they kill him the once? There's the time that's giving him a little bit of help, but there's the Chrono onto the two. They'll take Gabby down once. They'll be able to pick up the Yoga. Can they kill Gabby a second time? Ninja Boogie falls. He's got the reincarnation talent. Sylar committing onto Gabby, but Gabby's got the BKB. The reflection's out, ready to go. He's killed off Sylar. Turns towards XXS. XXS surrounded. The Hoofstone comes out onto the two of them, but he's so down low. The Spirit Vessel bringing him down pretty low here as well. Does get the hill back up by the cheese. He's got that hard as well. A lot of HP to beat through, but not an impossible amount as Gabby has the damage. Takes down XXS's center as well. A double kill for Gabby. As Aster, they got into the pit, but they couldn't take Roshan. They couldn't take the Aegis. They did grab the refresher shot, but even with that Chrono coming in time, it wasn't quite enough to securely win the team fight. Gabby still lives.
These fights are absolute chaos to keep track of. I think he got 2 time lapses off during it. I don't believe there was a Sunder. There was 2 Lagunas as well on top of the Terra Blade. He used the Ethereal Blade too. I mean, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking to see Baboka get the Ags now, but they need more saves on the side of Aster. He's nearly got the money for it.
It's also just the resets as well.
And so does the set. Sense on XX says he's got to spend some gold. 5.3k net worth that he's sitting on. Not net worth, sorry, gold in the bank. He needs that extra item for these fights.
So many items. TNC now they just keep coming. Now they climbed all the bounty runes, so some more gold going their way. We see Kuku's queued up an Octarine, so yeah, all around these time lapses. And it seems like these pressure for like Sylar to get these perfect chronos now is becoming more of a thing as Gabby, this Terra Blade. I didn't think he'd got to be able to make it this far, but we're hitting 60 minutes now already.
Gabby on the TB. I mean, just look at this farm. This has got to be some of the most farm we've seen on a Terra Blade. I mean, this has to be the most farmed Terra Blade right today. And we've seen a lot of Terra Blade. 47,000 net worth, nearly 1,000 CS. 60 minutes in. Gabby is having the time of his life as a carry player this match.
TNC has double RP ready. How is all our other... I'm just trying to keep track of all the refreshers. So we got 55 on Lina, 35 on Phoenix, 81 on Weaver, 101 on Terra Blade. Everyone's got a refresher.
I like this, but I'm not sure about it. I mean, Gabby, he's going for the Rapier. I don't know if he needs to, though. I mean, I feel like you get a Daedalus, you're going to kill people just as easy.
Oh, there he bought it.
There it finally is as well. The Aghanim Scepter on XXS. I really feel that we're going to see this make a huge difference in the fights. So I was surprised that he didn't get it earlier. He's got it now. He has got that Aghanim Stampede ready to play. But yeah, Gabby. See if he does go in on that Rapier purchase. He's holding on just a Demon Edge in his backpack for now. XXS. Chrono focus Sylar. Gets the Chrono on the two of them. Straight away looks to get the easier target, but there's the time out save from outside. He can't get the kill. Sylar has to back off at the time. Tim's still alive. Forced out the side. Supernova does get the two of them. RP from Armel comes out, but it's only onto a Bane. Sylar can't recommit though with the BKB as they've taken down 3 members of TNC. TNC, they're crumbling amongst this fight. Armel's caught out. Sylar goes back and gets the bash up. 4 dead on TNC.
He used the time lapse for the Ogre?
He did, yeah. Used it on the Ogre in the Chrono.
No.
Felt confident with the the opportunities of maybe having the time for the second one, but Refresher is not up to 10 seconds. He didn't have a second time. That in the mid lane, they just throw away another life. That's Kuku dead. He does have buyback. He was just desperately trying to keep them away from the base, because you look at the buybacks at TNC. What's the timings on this?
30 seconds on TB is the important one.
That's the big one. They are going to have Gabby back up.
But it's just going to be Gabby versus a whole lineup. They don't have Mag. They don't have Magnus. They don't have Meta.
This is looking rough for TNC.
That fight was literally everything went wrong for them. They solo RP'd a Bane. He got insta-uled afterwards. They time-lapsed an Ogre. Siler got a great combo started.
I think Aster can just go for the close-up here now.
I think so too.
I don't see TNC being able to do anything to stop this one now.
They've got the buyback now. Ninja Boogie, he's starting to build up the decays. He's got Crimson Guard too. To block some damage on the throne.
Siler's not messing around. He's just hitting the Ancients, so is XXS. Is there really anything that TNC can do to stop this? There is not, as the Ancient is called.
Oh, they played it. They had such good team fights up to that point too. Just that one got completely botched. The initiation went sour. The counter, like the save, didn't go